Hello and welcome to Duckie AI. My name is Joel and today I'll be doing a demonstration of how to use a Duckie coding agent to complete a development task. So let's get straight into it. First I need to navigate to the platform, so I'll click Try Duckie here and I'll log in via GitHub. Once login is complete, I'll be redirected to the platform page where I can begin my development. So today I want to add a button to the nav bar up here, which will allow users to provide feedback. Essentially, I want a modal to appear in which they can input that feedback, click submit, and at the bottom an alert should appear, just letting them know that the feedback has been submitted. To do that, I'll start by clicking Create New Duckie Agent. So if it's my first time using Duckie on a specific repo, I'll need to install the GitHub app. So I'll click this, which will take me to this page. I can then press Configure and select my repo. And when I select it, I can click Update Access, and it should appear on the dropdown. I then just need to fill in the objective name and an objective description. So objective name is add a provide feedback button to the nav bar, and the description, I'll just copy and paste it. I now have these three toggle sections at the bottom. This allows us to choose between auto execution or collaborative mode. Collaborative mode will essentially allow me to interact directly with the Duckie agent during the development process. So today I'll be toggling all three. I then press Start, which will begin initialization and setup of the Duckie agent. Whilst the Duckie agent is active, you should see them appear on the left-hand panel. Right now I can see that this agent is running, and I can see a little bit more information on the top right. With initialization complete, I'm at the objective clarification step. This is essentially a process in which I can interact with the Duckie agent to further define my objective. Duckie will essentially ask me questions down on the right chat panel here, and I can answer them and see an update to the objective here. So it's asked me a question. From what I gathered, I assume that the provide feedback button will be located right beside the sign in button towards the right side of the nav bar. I actually want it next to the contact button, so I'll just let it know. So I'll send that information through. Duckie will receive that and incorporate it into the current objective. Next question, what kind of feedback do you want users to provide in the feedback modal? Do you have specific fields? I want a subject, text, input, and a description, text area. So whilst that's running, I can also look at relevant files. These relevant files are the files that Duckie is using for the development process. If there are any that I think are necessary, I can add them here. For now, I can see that navbar file is part of the relevant files, and I'm happy. So with this objective feedback complete, I can see that we are adding the button next to the contact, and here we have the subject text input and a description text area. So I'm happy with the objective right now. I'll click next stage and move on to the implementation planning. We have now entered the implementation planning phase. In this phase, I will work with the Duckie agent to update the proposed plan until I'm happy with it. I can see two things. One, the high-level plan. In the high-level plan, I can get a quick overview of what Duckie is proposing. In the navbar, I can see the specific steps or the specific updates, and I can also see that we are creating a new feedback modal. I can then look at the detailed plan to see the specifics of the proposed changes. Scrolling down, I notice that the background color is transparent and the feedback button text is provide feedback. I want to change those, so I'll say change the button background to yellow and update the text to say provide feedback with a smiley face. I'll then send that feedback through to the Duckie agent, and we should see the change in the implementation plan. The planner is now updated, and I should be able to see the changes. Here we go. So the background color is now yellow, and the text is provide feedback with our smiley face. Again, I can look at the detailed plan, and I can see that the changes are here. I'm happy, so I'll click next stage and move on to task execution. It's worth noting that we can run multiple Duckie agents at the same time. I can click create new Duckie agent and set up another one. This means that whilst one agent is running, I can provide feedback or work with another agent, and in essence have multiple work streams going in parallel. At the task execution stage, I can look at the specifics of each individual task and again, provide inputs to modify anything. We're on the navbar, and I scroll down and I can see the button here. I now realize that I only want this button to appear when I'm in the Dash app route. Again, simple as, I'll just provide that information to Duckie. I'll send that through, and we should see that incorporated into the current task. So the task has been updated, and I can see that conditional on match being true, which is up here, the button will be rendered. This looks good to me, so I'll click run task, and it will execute. So the first task has been executed. I can click ongoing changes to see the current changes. I can then navigate back to the platform and go to the next task. In here we can see the feedback modal, a quick check, I'm happy with it. I'll click run task and it should execute it. Once execution is complete, we are now done with this Duckie agent. I can then go to the pull request, review the commits, and review the code. We also support GitHub code review. So let's say that I'm scrolling through, and in the navbar, I see that we have the color yellow. I don't want that. I want this to be, let's change it back to transparent. I can click add single comment and wait. The PR has now been updated. I can click refresh, and if I scroll down, I should see that the button is now transparent once again. So this is it for the development process. I want to check this out locally and see whether the new button appears in the navbar. Let me do that now. So I pulled the changes locally, and I can now see the provide feedback button in the navbar. When I press it, a modal appears. I'll fill it out, click submit, and an alert pops up at the bottom. Voila, that is how you use Duckie to complete a development task. If you like what you see, please try using Duckie in your next development process. Thank you very much.